Here in this session, I'm gonna teach you something more about social responsibility. Many a times, if you go under the realistic statistics record, you will get to know that the profit motive is an important justification for undertaking business. You know the name because of their social responsibilities. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Vidhyaashram from the Department of Business Studies in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to the next session, and here in this session, I'm gonna teach you something more about social responsibility, how it helps the business as well as how it helps themselves. Now try to understand about the responsibility, and these are the arguments of social responsibilities. Now firstly, we have justification for existence and growth. See, in simple words, if I need to tell you that a business should always think about how and when they are contributing to the society at large. The reason is they have exploited the society to the maximum, and now it is their turn to give it back to the society. But how much will they give and why will they give? So these are the arguments which you are supposed to understand. Second is, business always go with long-term interest of the firm. And thirdly, avoids of government regulations. See, when you are actually helping the society at large, now government will not interfere anywhere. The reason is they also know their limitations, when they are supposed to come and when they are not supposed to. The next one is maintenance of society. See, if the society is developing, the standard of living of society increases, definitely there is a growth in the business as well. Ultimately, we all require the customers. If the customers are well disciplined, if the customer have standard of living is increased, now what happens is, in return, we also get the profit more because of the customer. When customer have more money, only then they'll come and they'll take more products, and when they take more products, now that is what the profitability happens to the business. So in one hand, if the business is giving something, in the next the other, it's taking something from the society as well. That's why what is that they need to do? They need to help the society at large. So the first one is justification for existence and growth. Second is long-term interest of the firm. Third is avoidance of government regulation. The fourth one is maintenance of society. Continued, that fifth one is availability of resources with business. Next is converting problems into opportunity. And here we need to understand that we have something called SWOT. S-W-O-T, SWOT. We call this as strength, weakness, then O is opportunity, and T is threat. Now here the thing is, we need to always go with opportunity. We need to convert the opportunity. And there are so many problems, what is that we need to do is, we need to convert the problems into opportunity. So these are the things. How is that it will happen? When customer know that the society is being taken care by the company, definitely the customer is gonna take care about the company as well. So this is what the logic behind it, and that's why many of the business tycoons, they help the society at large. Then we have holding business responsible for social problems. Understand, many a times, if you go under the realistic statistics record, you will get to know that the air pollution caused in Uttar Pradesh and Delhi is all because of more industries, more vehicles, and that is the reason there is a depletion of ozone layer. Now why this happens? Because if you see UP, it's a manufacturing hub. You have all big industries, factories, small scale to large scale, it's all there in UP. And from there, the air pollution comes to Delhi as well. So who are responsible? Now the common people like me and you aren't responsible. Who are responsible? The business is responsible. So what is that the business need to do to the society? These are the things which they go with the argumental. The first thing here is availability of resources with business. That's why they need to actually give it back to the society. Converting problems into opportunities. Now there are many of the companies which has come, that is air pollution is more. So what is that the business opportunity is there? Now you are supposed to go with eco-friendly. Think about the refrigerator. There are many of the refrigerator which has what? Carbon content was too much, and that used to be what? More. Now what has happened? Emission test also has come. Now there are people who are manufacturing refrigerators where carbon usage is lesser, and now it is what? 0%. Next is better environment for doing business. And the last one is holding business responsible for social problems. So let's check one by one what exactly the arguments all about. The first one was justification for existence and growth. Though profit motive is an important justification for undertaking business activity, it should be looked upon as an outcome of service of the people. Now what happens is, yes, profit will be there, but what is the outcome? You are supposed to serve the people. That is what the outcome should be. Next is long-term interest of the firm. See, we have something called the business is perpetual. That means there is no death for business. Now here what happens is, a firm and its image stands to gain maximum profit in the long run when it has its highest goal as service to the society. This is what happens in Tata as well. Therefore, it is in its own interest if a firm fulfills its social responsibilities. So you are supposed to know that when you are giving so much of your responsibilities to the society, that means you are so much responsible towards the society at large, what happens is you have a very good name. See, there are crores of business across the world, but how many companies do you really remember their name? You know the name because of their social responsibilities and the way they are doing the business in the society. Avoidance of government regulations. Yes. From the point of view of business, government regulations are undesirable because they limit freedom. See, once the government start interfering, that means what? You aren't doing your social part properly. You aren't being responsible. If you are doing your responsibility before the government tells you, definitely government interference will not be there at all. Maintenance of society. The argument here is that law cannot be passed for all possible circumstances. People who feel that they are not getting their due from the business may resort to the antisocial activity, not necessarily governed by law. So that means what? If the people, they feel that yes, the business isn't doing the work properly, they aren't actually thinking about the societal aspect, then what happens is maintenance of society should be taken care by what? The anti-social activities, things which are there, that should be resorted, and that is what happens. Next is availability of resource with business. This argument holds that the business institutions have valuable financial and human resources which can be effectively used for solving problems. Now you have few problems like unemployment. Now these can be covered in the social responsibility. That is, the business need to actually make their human resources and they need to think about the financial, and that is how the business will actually run. Converting problems into opportunities. Related with the preceding arguments, in the argument that business with its glorious history of converting risky situation into profitable deals can not only solve social problems, but it can also make them effectively useful by accepting the challenges. There are n number of challenges which is there in the business. Now if the business always think about how to convert the problems into opportunity, then what happens is whatever the social responsibility which we are talking about, what exactly we need to do. We shouldn't cut down the forest. We need forests. We need to think about flora and fauna. All those, if we strategize and then plan, then what will happen is we can make the problems into opportunities. You would have seen in the YouTube videos, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, all the places where Dubai is a place which is actually harvesting more on the crops, more on the floras right now. But what is the climatic condition in Dubai? But still they are doing it. The reason is they are taking the risk and then they are doing it. There is a huge popular story which had come from African country, that is a huge tree was actually place where the tree was placed was supposed to be converted into a big company. Now what the company people did is they were social responsible. They lifted the entire tree from one place and they actually kept it in another place without disturbing the tree itself. Now that is what the responsibility they show. Now how many crores of rupees was invested only for that? When the interviewer asked the owner that why did you not cut the tree, the owner just answered in a simple way saying that why should I cut the tree which has like 1,000 years, and now because I got a land here, I got a plot here to go run my business, now why should I do it? I invested more than crores to only just take the tree and then dump it to some other place. So that is what the responsibility the owner showed it. Now many of us are actually thinking like that we shouldn't cut any of the trees. But sad that in the Mysore-Bangalore road, when the construction was happening, we had to cut more than thousands of trees only to make development. So if you think about it, see, converting problems into opportunity, we could have actually saved all those trees and we could have moved those trees from one place to another without doing any kind of cutting. So the next one here is better environment for doing business. How is that we can do business? Very good. Only when we have solved all the problems, we can encourage more business to come practice to the market. Now, when more business is coming to the market, what usually happens is we have a big crisis that is called unemployment. Now, more and more business comes to the society. What happens is the societal aspect, which is unemployment, which will definitely come, reduce, and then it will be what? More of employment opportunity will be generated. So what is that we need to aim is? We need to always encourage to go with new businesses. So entrepreneurs should come and they need to start new business so that whatever the problem faced by society is there, it can be reduced. Now, if business is to operate in a society which is full of diverse and complicated problems, it may have little chance of success. So what is that we need to do is we should always make it happen, and then whatever the problem is there, we need to go with converting the problem into opportunity. And the next one here is holding business responsible for social problems. Yes, in the next session I'll teach you more about how the business will bring more social problems, how the business can overcome social problems, and how business can eradicate the problems which is in the society as well. So there are three arguments which I'll be telling you in the next session. Now here it is argued that some of the social problems, okay, have either been created or perpetuated by business enterprise themselves. Now because they are there are few problems. I'll give you a few of the examples like that. Now I spoke more about unemployment. Now usually unemployment happens because there are no too much of business enterprises. But sometimes when you try to understand, more and more business enterprises come to it, unemployment is also not decreasing, it is always increasing. The reason is population. When you talk about it, all the business enterprises and the entrepreneurs who are running the business, they need smart people. Now, how can you actually give them that skilled kind of employment, skilled kind of labor? Now, that is what the problem is. Everybody needs people who have experience. Who are the people who don't have experience? They'll never get any place in a new company. So that is where the social problems also increases. Now, because what because of more and more business competition is too much. When competition is too much, the cutthroat competition will actually kill so many employees so that the employees cannot perform properly. So I'm just giving you one of the example here. There are too many examples which I'll be explaining it to you how much responsible one should be in the next coming classes. Until then, students, I'll see you when I see you.